Inmates in prison on the first day. I can't wait in line for the rice. Was arrested by prison boss Chen. New people don't understand the rules. He saw the prison without giving way. Tommy is not dressed. Why did the jailers say I am the king? To the prison scene standing on one side, also when folded hands, he tossed Tommy's plate of rice. I try to hold my anger like the prison boss doesn't know. This forced him to pay the price. Before going to prison, Tommy had a nice family. Because of the baby that's about to be born, Tommy's working as a road mechanic. Cut the carpet. Even if they are deliberately harassed by thugs, you also ring. As a result, the enemy refused to let go. If the exchanges, Tommy punched his opponent in the hospital. But now because of his wife and children, Tommy is only to endure. I thought life would go well. But the beauty is not long, because society was so chaotic at the time. There's a lot of bad guys out of order. A group of 4 people led by a couple. Still not enough chaos, so they decided to steal the jewelry store. And this is Tommy's girlfriend's house, and I killed her father. When they left, they were discovered by the police. I was so excited to give it to my girlfriend Kevin. He was arrested by the police, but there was no evidence. The killer can't blame them. The next day, the thugs came to the police station. Because they often cause trouble. I have to go to the police station and conduct a review. And the person in charge of them is Tommy Alice's girlfriend. But Kevin didn't see you? The challenge is to catch it. I don't care. I don't want to hear you talk shit. Then he got up and left. Now a thug is late. Alice told him to be on time. I can't believe this word pissed him off. He gave her a tarp. Alice fled into the room in fear. At the moment, the news is in the news about the thugs robbing the jewelry store. They're very pleased. While they're cheering. My job last night. Elise happened to see it. She realized that the watch on Kevin's hand belonged to her father. This makes those 2 guys nervous. They're afraid Elise will call the police. I decided to kill you tonight. When Alice is working home, they appear behind you. It's also because Elise couldn't keep her tie. After leaving, Tommy next to comfort and care for Elise. But you're hurt? The psyche is too heavy to accept. You chose to leave Tommy. Tommy lost his girlfriend. I'm so angry. After learning that the thugs had been sent to prison, I decided to go to jail to find Alice's killer. To take my sister. So Tommy's back in the mood. I'm looking for a thug to challenge me. Give him a fight and beat the police. For assaulting a police officer will serve 2 years in prison. But I don't regret it. I laugh with satisfaction. Police. Asking if attacking a police officer was drunk. You shake your head and deny you have ASD. You live with no one. Do you have a girlfriend? Tommy goes to prison to avenge Elise, and then he was taken to a room by the guards. The police warned me not to cause trouble. I'll pay attention to you. Jack Selmy asked you why you came back here. Tommy answered fairly. The next day in line for rice. Check the situation in prison for you. Tell me to try not to mess up. There are a lot of evil people in this place. They will kill you in silence. If you survive, you have a chance to get out. I didn't expect it right after challenged by a criminal. That your challenger is the one who harmed Elise. He even tossed Tommy's plate of rice. The prison police just quietly observed Tommy tried to suppress his anger, not directly, but choose to ignore, because this guy wasn't the only one who touched Alice. You can't fight many alone. To carry out his plan of revenge, Tommy's looking for one of them. Look at the camera next to you in no hurry, but quietly stand on one side watching. I can't believe Robin noticed me and asked me what I wanted to do. Don't you have your name Robin? I don't know what you're talking about. What you want? You're cool. Robin was also bewildered, thinking Tommy was a cold figure. The next day, a violent criminal pulled a dagger, gave Robin a lesson, but he appreciated himself. When he ran, the enemy knocked him to the ground. When he saw the east, he was in a hurry to ask for help. I can't believe the prison is ignoring me. He said no one saw them beating him. After knowing the attitude of the prison, Robin became more overbearing. They rushed to fight. Until he breaks down, the police officer pretended to care about going into the barn. This scene was all seen by Tommy. I know my revenge plan will be hard to carry out, so I can't take action. That night, Tommy waited for the guards to leave, then go back to the armchair, and went to Robin's cell. He didn't even react. Tommy punched him in the face. Tommy asked if he attacked that employee. When Robin reacts, Tommy is out for revenge. Tommy punched him repeatedly in the face. After a while, Robin confessed. Robin said, I wasn't the one who hurt Elise. It's all because of the combos. But Tommy couldn't trust him. I picked up my chair and left. The guards are there to take Robin to the hospital. It all caught Jack's eye. They asked if Tommy was a bad person for justice. Kama called someone to take Tommy. He knows you hit Robin, but I don't know why. Even after a quick question, there was no result. Kama threatened me and let me go. The next day, Tommy gets the weapon from Jack. The next few days I was out training is to sharpen weapons. That day, Tommy had just finished taking a shower when he caught Mason bullying Jack. Him. Mason just turned around and Tommy showed up with a weapon. Tommy is smaller than me. Mason didn't see you. Ra asked if you wanted to die. And Tommy's eyes became extraordinarily steady, like a bloodthirsty wild animal. Mason now attacks the weapon that falls to the ground. And they need to jump into each other's arms. But Tommy's not as strong as Mason's. He has no power to respond. After Mason swore a few sentences, but because he slipped, he immediately died. Then Tommy got his weapon back and walked away. Tommy goes back to his cell. Jack thanks him, but Jack thought Mason wasn't worth dying for. But he doesn't know. Tommy didn't do this for him. Then Tommy told his girlfriend's story. Jack felt very strongly about this, so I decided to help you. Next person. They need to solve the rest. Kamo and Ollie with the help of Jack. Tommy goes to Ollie's cell. After killing him to death, Tiger Hero goes solve the last name. He's also the one who killed his girlfriend. Tommy enters Kamo's cell wanting to end it all. I can't believe he's not afraid. He's even sarcastic. Let's see if Rockamo is prepared to call someone. He wants Tommy on his knees. He'll think about forgiving you. If you don't pray, don't walk out of here. They're constantly pissing Tommy off. Kamo suddenly attacked and he couldn't turn back. When you're about to enter the prison, there have been a number of violent incidents recently. Attacks that make superiors take seriously. If we don't stop this, the prison guards will be responsible. That's how Tommy was saved. But the prison guards told Kamo will not let Tommy survive out of the separate cell. Within the separated skin, the prison scene tortured Tommy very badly. Even though Tommy was injured all over, she still resisted. It's like a wolf that won't give in. Fortunately, a good prison girl. I bandaged the wound for you, but I can't believe the prison guard just left. The other prison guard came. The prison guard just stopped her. But he's lost his mind now. He even gave a female prison guard a fight. Fortunately, the boss was there in time. Just end this. The prison is also crazy. You'll regret it. Just like that. After a few days of torture, Tommy was released. When you go back to your cell, I'm ready to face Kamo. This time I'm not alone anymore. You're looking for a friend to help you. When Kamo saw that Tommy was still alive, made him very angry. A great battle is about to break out. Tommy left, then Chuck stand up and cheer people up. The prisoners are united in standing up. The entire police force is concentrated. The prison was beaten by prisoners. Tommy is struggling with Kamo, but he won't deal with it. After a few rounds, Tommy was knocked to the ground. By the time Kamo was about to take Tommy's life, he pulled a weapon out of his pocket and hit him, and then he roared like an animal. A few days later, Tommy returned. Because of your courage, Big Sister finally complete the revenge plan for girlfriend, using their own means to protect what's called justice. How scary is prison in Thailand? There is no bed in it. It's hot as a fire in summer, and all the prisoners have to lie close together. It's worse than the sky. Gas filled with body odor and foot odor, but nothing can be done because the prisoners here have no human rights. Billy wakes up in the evening. The person next to me is no longer breathing. I thought something was going on and it turned out to be dead. I changed my position and went back to sleep. It's the most common thing in prison. The prison police are extremely skilled at wrapping the dead. Billy's the only white man in this prison. You know you have to be humble if you want to live, but when I went to get water, I was teased by someone else. Billy didn't get it, so he got into a fight. So I'm locked in a small cell. I had to sit there for 3 days. Then, you've been sent to the cells of dangerous criminals. This place is the hell of a prison. Those who are locked up here are all extremely violent killers. I came here with a very clean team man. Newcomers are certainly not immune to bullying. I heard Billy was a fighter before, so they made me do some push-ups. While pushing, they use a stick to poke their ass. I feel like swearing isn't fun enough. They let the tree stand still. A spot that catches Billy automatically lifting his ass up and down. When that falls, it's the scariest time. Billy was gagged and threatened not to speak out with a knife. The next day, my friend came in with Billy. He could not bear the shame of killing himself. Dangerous criminals. He stared at Billy as if to say, the next person is you. From then on, every time it gets dark, Billy's scared. I went to the infirmary that day and asked for painkillers, but the doctor said, here white people, you have to pay for medicine. The stigma made Billy unbearable. Dashed out a prison cop. He even bit a person's neck. You're like a wild animal going crazy right now. Very quickly the prison police rushed to, and I can control you. You were severely injured, then get carried away and grew in a dark cell. Let me self-destruct. A month later, the wound healed. You're now chained up and taken back to the detention center. Dangerous prisoners. Due to the previous assault, the other prisoners have changed their attitude to Belai. I'm not messing with you anymore. To blend in with the Belai crowd, start essay down with the dangerous criminals. Until that evening, I saw 3 criminals lined up in a ladder. They're removing the propeller, but they didn't do it to escape. It's to kill. Very quickly, the prison police called everyone up. We've got them gathered at the stadium for questioning. It turns out that 3 prison officers were killed just now. The weapon is the propeller. After a round of questioning, we didn't find any clues. Prison police immediately. A prisoner who's hiding drugs. On speaker, the radio is emitting painful screams. He was beaten to death. The prison police are threatening them all. After it's done, a police officer came looking for Billy. They threw Billy a pack of drugs. Turns out the cops knew you'd learn at boxing and heavily addicted, so the police just beat 2 criminals to death. In the end, Billy couldn't stand the temptation. I went to the criminals, stabbed and killed 2 of them. When I woke up, I started blaming myself to avoid self-harm. That night I cut it with a piece of metal. Lucky risk that your cellmate discovered in time. Stop the bleeding. After this, I know I can't go on like that anymore. There's a boxing team in prison. They practice together every day. This make Billy remember his previous life. Force yourself to change. I want to be like before. Have health and a clear spirit. Billy's at boxing practice. Prepare to register to participate. But before he could speak, he was kicked out. People often say that sex is bad. Billy used the money from the reformatory labor to pave the way for the coach. That way you're qualified to practice here. But the coach doesn't intend to teach you. Coach, find Billy a trainer. I have a lot of experience. They practiced together. But only a few tricks. Billy was beaten for bruising your face. The coach wanted Billy to find it hard to retreat on his own. When you go back to yourself, then all the dangerous criminals laugh at you because they didn't understand what Billy was doing. If you don't teach, learn by yourself. Very quickly you caught my attention. In the eyes of Milan, there is only boxing. Your hard work and perseverance. It's also seen by everyone. While resting, everybody's talking about you. Even the coach was moved by you. I started teaching you how to punch properly. You have to use your shoulders to accompany the attack force in your arms. Boxing training is completed to practice the skill of gripping the opponent. It's not only harder, it's more physically intensive. Very quickly, Billy's first match also arrived. But at the beginning of the battle, Billy's ear was torn. A fighter who's been out of the sport for a long time can fight such an aggressive opponent. I've just been beaten over and over again. But based on a persistent will not to give up, I try to force until the opponent's strength is exhausted. A very strong punch to end the match. A round transmitted to the roar. It's both strange and familiar. That's right, you won. Not long after, the prefect met with Milan. I want to send you to an important match. You will be the first white man representing the prison. Join this tournament. The prefect promised you if you join, you're not just moved to a better cell. If you win, you can get out of jail early. Foregoing all the dangerous criminals. It is very chaotic in our hearts. At first they laughed, but now Biley's the only one. You can walk out of a dangerous criminal cell. You're the most arrogant prisoner in prison. It's not just masseurs. There's also a professional coach. Because over a period of time, I'm going to represent the prison to compete. But a player with that quality. Back to addiction. Right during training, Billy couldn't control himself. Frantic spanking friend worked out. Every fatal blow at the enemy. Finally, he was scattered by the prison police and locked in his room. I deeply regret punching the wall repeatedly. Finally, calm down. Well, I understood that. I can't let the addiction control me anymore. So every day I try to do push-ups. Jump rope every time, overcome the addiction. I'll put a brick on the wall. A week later, Milan returned to the gym. Sorry, coach. The coach is a good person, so forgive me. The training process gradually returns to its original trajectory. I practiced for a while. I ran into the bloody toilet. The doctor told him that his organs were injured, especially the left side of the abdomen. Very seriously injured. If you continue to compete, you will surely die. But a rare opportunity lies ahead. You can give up. Not long after the final match started, they're sitting in a big bus. Go to another prison. Hand wrap bandage in hand for Billy. Before going to the ring, Billy's left side of his stomach was aching. I don't know if you're going to the ring or to the law school. The enemy is cold-blooded. The fame of that prison. For criminals to say what to do. There are rules. This is not a fight, this is a fight. During the competition, the opponent accidentally kicked Billy in the left abdomen. The hurt is so bad that it hurts so bad. Even though you may be reluctant to stand up after the enemy knows your weakness, he kept attacking hard. On Billy's left side, Billy knew he didn't have the upper hand. Just embrace it. To extend the time, it's hard to try. It's time for the referee to ring the bell. But Billy's opponent is a dirty playboy. He suddenly hit you. That cowardly act was scolded by everyone. Billy's coach was furious, but even though this place is just a prison for criminals, it's dangerous. After resting for a while, very quickly the second round happened. This time the enemy didn't hit Billy in the left abdomen. Frantically attacked the head. Looks like he wants to take Billy down quickly. The wound piled up. Biley was beaten so badly that her mind was spinning. But I still won't give up. Aim for opportunity. You use force from your hips. Give the enemy an elbow. That's right, Billy won. Watching the audience below the ring chanting their names. Billy hasn't had time to rejoice yet. Vomiting blood and ecstasy on the spot. When Billy woke up, he was in the hospital. I dreamt of leaving the hospital room. I found out there are no police. Watch out so. Billy had a bold thought in his mind. Billy hurried downstairs and left the hospital like a normal patient. Through the streets, busy walking through small alleys, but suddenly you stop walking. I wonder in my heart, is it any use to walk away like that? I'm sure you'll become a scum of society again. So he gave up his freedom and went back to prison. During the execution of a prison sentence. You've been pardoned many times. My father before Kia came to visit me now. You see, it's all worth it. I've never seen a guard this bad before. The woman visited the prison. They were asked to undress for inspection. To facilitate a prison visit, the woman just followed. The warden came to smell the pervert. She said, "You smell good." He even snatched you. The prisoner felt very happy when his girlfriend visited. But the warden pulled out the phone. Look at your girlfriend's perfect body. Angry prisoners jerked the iron door. The guards laughed again. I have to send one to every prisoner. The more furious, the man clung to the iron door screaming, "I'll kill you." Inmates who swear at the guards are no different. To find death, the police officer dragged the man to the bathroom. The boy pressed against the wall and forced him to throw his legs apart, sticking out of your flour. This kind of torture is called intestinal ventilation. The man was in great pain but did not pray. The guards see you are not afraid. He dragged me to the toilet and put his head down the toilet. The man choked, constantly coughing. When he was about to die, he threw it to the ground. You're not even shit. See if you dare to confront us. The guards left after the torture, but they couldn't believe it. They will pay dearly for this act. The man is also a man of blood. His name is Ray, and he only came out 5
After
this year.
returning,
He proposed to his girlfriend Kelly.
You're
Going to enjoy a happy life. On the way to meet a rich man, his girlfriend Ray took off her pants in front of him. Ray has no more patience. Punched the rich man without fail. I suspect the enemy pulled a knife straight at the rail. He quickly dodged the rich man. He hit his head in the car and died. Ray was sentenced to 18 months in prison. He's locked up in Europe's most feared prison. These are all criminals who killed their fathers of the rich man to avenge my son. So he paid the governor $1 million. Let him make it hard for Ray. Ray's first day in prison was given special treatment by Hari's warden. Hari made everyone take off their clothes. The youngest prisoner, Jack, began to cry. Ray said, "Help him. It's a child." Hari holds a stick to the face. "If I don't let you talk, shut up." Hari colluded with other inmates, bullying Ray. This place is divided into the white side, the Indian side, and the Mexican side. Ray was walking outside the yard and suddenly the VA was the Indian faction. Open your eyes straight out and look. Ray doesn't want to cause trouble. I just want to live peacefully until I get out of jail. But the Indians who were aggressive in front of Ray just avoided. The enemy did not hit. Right now, the white CA sees Ray as quite capable. Go to help. Ray is my man. So Ray gets used to the white supremacist, but I don't want to join any faction. I just wanted to be safe. Spent 18 months. Ray cleans toilets in prison. Specialized in cleaning toilets. That day Harry came. He found Kelly's picture in a book. Pervert Harry book looked up the photo is disgusting. Ray furiously tore up Kelly's photo in front of him. Ray put a picture up his ass. Then let your subordinates open the curve for you. Continuous provocation, Ray. These guards won't honor you. H6 into the guards, constantly banging on the head of the Ray. Attack the guards. That could increase your time in prison. Ray is not easily fooled. He punched me in the stomach, but you still don't respond. Javier pulled the baton to fuck down. The guard next to him stopped him. Don't commit murder. Ray escaped. When Ray went to take a shower, the soap fell. Now there's a big guy coming. He made Ray his 8th lover. Ray doesn't care about the enemy. I love you. No one will dare to bully you. When finished, touch Ray. He punched him to the ground. If you touch me, I'll kill you. Ray was beaten to the ground by the guards. He put me in front of the governor to leave the ground with a stick. Ray didn't pray. I see you are about to be beaten to death. This time the young guard intervened. That person will die. Then stop using the pressure hose. Javi holds the spray pressure nozzle towards the rail. Javi laughed as if the season even told the young warden. Do you want to play with me? The enemy doesn't care. He was tortured every day and Ray couldn't stand it. Kelly came to visit him to help Ray have more motivation to live. Ray's two prison friends are the old man at the library and Jack. They used to eat together. At noon during the law break, Jack is lifting weights. Suddenly Tony came to hold dead hands, squeezing his face, and hit the ground. Jack wanted to run but was stopped by the criminals. I want the two of them to fight. Jack is knocked to the ground by Tony. I told you, I'll play with you. Tony is ready to ring the dead. At that moment, Ray ran to the rescue and fought Tony. He hugged Ray and tried to break his back. Ray tried to escape but couldn't. So start pulling Tony's hair. He fell to the ground. Ray punched him in the face without fail. Someone threw a knife? Tony picked up the knife. Ray quickly dodged. When it comes to the climax, the guards came to an end. Jack takes all the blame. He doesn't do anything, I do. There's only one captain in a prison, with the young jailer who's a good guy. How to work as a janitor in a carpet toilet. That day Ray was cleaning up. India likes to mess up. To find you, the enemy doesn't say a word. Ray, be quick to avoid jumping in. Ray threw a kick behind him and crashed his face into the wall. The disgruntled enemy rushed in. Ray slammed into 2 ears. And then I hit him in the face and he fell to the ground. Now the governor and Harry went to the wall-mounted rail. Harvey picked up the baton and began to empty his tremendous pain, but not begging. Then Harry grabbed Ray's head and pressed it to the toilet. He was tortured to death and tried to fall to the ground. The young warden was very kind. Tell Hari if he's still abusing his prisoners. A report to the prison administration. Hari was talking to the governor. The next day the young guard died in the toilet. The price for a criminal. This time the prison manager was left with only the captain. There is still human love. Kelly visited the prison that day and was arrested by Javi. You take off your clothes and smell it. You said your job was delicious. Javi takes pictures. She uses photos to annoy Ray. Ray meets his heartbroken girlfriend. You promised me you'd get out. Ray has been in prison for months and has not been solved. The governor couldn't explain to the rich man's father. They bribed the white supremacists. CA wants Ray to join his faction. This is the last chance. Ray is still refusing. They officially confront each other. Harry and the warden took Ray to the warehouse to join forces. His aunt came down to the table to cut off Ray's right hand. I can't stand it anymore. The new enemy always counts the old debt. Try to defeat two. The warden pushed one up the door and rushed in. Harry pushed him to the ground. He didn't miss a beat. At this point, Kia stood up and was pushed down by the Ray. How much of the sludge has been released? I'll kill you? The warden is about to be strangled. The captain ran to knock Ray out. Harry immediately told Ray to let's go first. You're locked in a separate cell. This place is pitch black. It's worse than physical abuse. About the spirit, Harry would sometimes open the door and threaten Ray and piss on his head. Gradually, he appeared hallucinations, often laughing alone. And remember Kelly feeling like she couldn't be. You have to overthrow the governor to get out. The first step is to practice your iron. 8,000 push-ups per day, skipping 500 pieces, while less arm strength training. The second step is to find an ally. After going out, he went to the old man in the library and died. But the captain decided to overthrow the governor. The police arrested Tony and tried to seduce him. Take the opportunity to kill him. Next, let's kill Ray. You're practicing death to death with a knife. Ray knows he died because he was forced to. You to keep looking at each other. Ray also saved his life. You can't turn people away. Jack was killed that night. I heard that Jack was killed. Ray felt so bad that he killed himself. Ray went out to the yard to ask the CA at South to do so again. I told his men. He used Jack and killed him. You still want to go? Follow him, don't wake up. The stupid dogs heard the words. Go ahead and punch Ray. You can quickly avoid it. Stomping on the opponent's feet and burying in the enemy face. Immediately fainted. The director was upstairs and saw this. I told the police not to stop just waiting for Ray to make a mistake. CA just Ray solo. The giant CA raised his hand to stop the rail, easily avoided. Then he clasped his hand and punched his opponent repeatedly and then shoved his bloody knees to the ground. Ka wanted to fake fainting, but his juniors picked him up. Just kill it, CA. After that, they even pushed the CA up. He just risked his life. Witty punches to be predicted by Ray. I punched him in the mouth. He was beaten with no response. Ray jumped up and punched him directly in the head. He thought the belly beat didn't pretend to faint. I can't believe it was set up by the kids. The prison is the best. He stumbled to his feet and was locked by a rail. He breathes hard. Your face finds again. The governor looks very pleased. Murder is a serious crime. Ray saw the old man shaking his head and let go. Someone threw a knife at me. He rushed up to Ray. The old man saw that and turned around. Instead of Ray sneaking cowardly, he was killed by the Indians who killed him. The captain immediately went to stop this. Ray was taken to the governor's office. He took this opportunity to increase his punishment. He said he received money from the rich. You have to do what people say. When the governor's happy to get gold, Ray pulled the phone out of his pants. Before the captain came in, give your phone to Ray. Tell him to record the governor's evidence. The outside prosecutor was also the governor and both VI and the evil guards. They're all caught. Waiting for them is a legal punishment. Ray went to the hospital to see the old man. He's not in danger of his life. He went to prison for robbing a bank. He said where Cho Ray's money is. Let's keep this $1 million alive. Don't ever come back. A few months later, I got out of jail with that money. Living a happy life with your girlfriend. Here is a list of films about prisons. Which movie do you see best? Please comment your opinion under the comments section. Thank you for your interest. Follow. Hello and see you later.